Hey everyone, welcome back to PMP Exam Express. I'm Mark, and in today's session, we're working through 10 realistic scenario-based questions covering scope, schedule, and cost management. These questions are exactly the kind of reasoning-focused items you'll find in the actual PMP exam. We're not just giving you the right answers, we're going deep into the logic and theory behind each one. So let's begin with question 1. Question 1. Naomi is managing a system upgrade project. A stakeholder suggests adding a non-critical feature that wasn't included in the project charter. What should Naomi do first? A. Add the feature to exceed customer expectations. B. Refer the change request to the change control board. C. Evaluate the impact on scope, time, and cost. D. Inform the team to pause current work until the feature is reviewed. Answer C. Evaluate the impact on scope, time, and cost. Explanation. Here's the thing. Just because a stakeholder wants something added doesn't mean we jump into action. Scope changes, even small ones, can have ripple effects on the project's cost, schedule, resources, and even risk exposure. Naomi's first responsibility as a project manager is to assess the impact of this proposed change. Only after that can she decide whether to escalate it to the change control board or take other action. Question 2. Luis is developing the WBS for a construction project. What should he ensure as a best practice? A. Include all stakeholder expectations in the WBS. B. Make sure each WBS component represents work packages. C. List all activities and durations directly in the WBS. D. Align WBS with organizational process assets. Answer. B. Make sure each WBS component represents work packages. Explanation. A lot of learners confuse the WBS with a schedule or a to-do list, but the work breakdown structure is actually a deliverable-focused decomposition of the work. Each component should be a work package. That's a unit of work that can be estimated, assigned, scheduled, and tracked. It's not just tasks. It's structured project scope. Question 3. A project deliverable has been completed and verified. What should happen next? A. Submit it for stakeholder acceptance. B. Close the project. C. Update the lessons learned register. D. Start work on the next deliverable immediately. Answer. A. Submit it for stakeholder acceptance. Explanation. This is about the difference between verify and validate. Verification means the team confirms the deliverable meets internal quality standards, but we're not done yet. Next comes validation. That's when stakeholders review and formally accept the deliverable. It's a key step in scope management, especially for avoiding rework or conflict down the line. Question 4. Sandra notices multiple change requests expanding scope without updates to cost or schedule. What is most likely happening? A. Risk is increasing due to stakeholder conflict. B. The project is using rolling wave planning. C. Scope creep is occurring. D. Agile practices are being applied incorrectly. Answer. C. Scope creep is occurring. Explanation. Scope creep is every project manager's worst nightmare. It happens when work is added to the project without going through proper change control. In this case, Sandra is seeing changes to scope without any update to budget or schedule. That's the textbook definition of scope creep. It usually results from poor requirements management or weak control processes. Question 5. During a project audit, a reviewer asks to see the scope baseline. What should be included? A. requirements documentation, B, cost estimates, C, scope statement, WBS, and WBS dictionary, D, risk register. Answer: C, scope statement, WBS and WBS dictionary explanation. This is a classic memory-based question that also tests understanding. The scope baseline is made up of three things: the project scope statement, the WBS, and the WBS dictionary. The scope statement defines what's in and out of scope. The WBS breaks it into work packages, and the WBS dictionary adds details about each one. Question 6. Jason is managing a project with strict deadlines. One critical path activity is delayed. What should Jason do first? A, add resources to all tasks. B, adjust non-critical tasks. C, analyze options to compress the schedule. D, request a deadline extension. Answer: C, analyze options to compress the schedule. Explanation: when a critical path activity slips, the project completion date is at risk. Jason's first step isn't to panic or beg for more time. He needs to explore schedule compression, techniques like crashing, adding resources to shorten tasks, or fast-tracking, doing tasks in parallel. This keeps the project on track without changing scope. Question 7. Priya is unsure of several activity durations. What is the best technique to use? A, expert judgment. B, critical path method. C, crashing. D, earned value management. Answer: A, expert judgment. Explanation: when you don't have hard data, your best option is to rely on the experience of subject matter experts. They can help estimate activity durations based on historical knowledge, complexity, and context. Question 8. What does the critical path in a project network determine? A, activities with the highest cost. B, total budget. C, longest path that determines project duration. D, tasks with the greatest float. Answer: C, longest path that determines project duration. Explanation: the critical path is the sequence of activities that determines the project's minimum duration. If any activity on the critical path is delayed, the entire project is delayed. It has zero float. It's essential for managing both time and expectations. Question 9. Several stakeholders are dissatisfied with project deliverables. What should the project manager have done earlier? A, applied fast tracking. B, collected requirements thoroughly. C, included stakeholders in risk planning. D, scheduled more inspections. Answer: B, collected requirements thoroughly. Explanation: if stakeholders aren't happy, it usually means you didn't fully understand or document what they wanted. This problem often starts during the collect requirements process. Good stakeholder engagement and traceability could have prevented this. Question 10. Melanie notices an activity has 10 days of float. What does this mean? A, the task is critical. B, the task can be delayed by 10 days without affecting the project end date. C, the task must be completed early. D, the task is a priority. Answer: B, the task can be delayed by 10 days without affecting the project end date. Explanation. Float or slack is flexibility. If an activity has 10 days of float, you can delay it up to 10 days without impacting the project's finish date. Only activities with zero float are on the critical path. That wraps up our first 10 questions. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which section you'd like us to cover next. I'll continue with questions 11 to 20 in the next video. Until then, stay sharp, stay focused, and keep pushing forward on your PMP journey.